everybody, it's Lisa from Shabby Road Studio. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to move forward with the book journal fun for tiny tots. I'm not sure how much I should say and show because I think so just my channel got monetized finally because I reached the magic number of subscribers and watch hours. Yay! Thanks to you guys. Thank you so much. So now my videos are monetized, but the one I did showing you what I did with this didn't get monetized. And so now I have to wonder if, because if you click that it's made for children, it won't you can't monetize those. And obviously my videos are not made for children, but this is a children's book, so I'm not sure. Anyhow, so hopefully, fingers crossed, this series will be monetized because that would really stink. So I'm going to move this aside. And we are going to work with some paints. I've already put them in my little palette thing, but I want to show you. They're just chalk paints. They're my grungy chalk. I use black and the curry and the truffle, so I'm gonna set those aside. And here we have those rings. So guess what, I told you on the last video I had to go buy some because I didn't have any. So I went to the store. I went to Hobby Lobby this weekend and they didn't have this size that I need. They only had the 1 inch, which won't work, too small. So I came home and I'm like, wow, that's a bummer. Then I started looking in my stash. You guys, I started looking in my stash and I found these. Yeah, yep. When I did that last one, that last journal, that I still have, by the way, in case anybody's interested, shameless plug. I had there was more in there. The package had more. And I found them, so here they are. But, you know, they're ugly silver, so we can't have that. So today, we're going to take the magic grungy sheet of paper. One of these days, I'm just going to have to cut this up for some ephemera or something, because it's really quite neat with all the layers on it. But anyway, we are going to distress these rings, kind of like faux rust. And I have some cinnamon here. This is just how I did my other ones. So we're just gonna go with the black first. Just kind of pounce that on there. Fingers are gonna get dirty probably. So in this chalk paint, if you know anything about chalk paint, it tends to stick to a lot of things that other paint won't. So that's why I like to use the chalk paint on stuff like this. Plus it dries fast and stuff, but it's got that chalky finish as well. Come on, there we go. So for all those reasons, I like to use chalk paint right in the frame. So I'm just kind of pouncing it on. The whole uneven is a very welcome issue to have with this, because the bumpier, the better. So I was spray painting something outside this weekend and I got some on my hand. I know that drives some people crazy to watch YouTubers with stuff on their hands, but I scrubbed my finger and spray paint does not come off like other paints. And it went up under my nail. Shame on me for not wearing gloves, but it's just like, oh, I'll just do this real quick thing and I don't want to go all the way upstairs to get some gloves. Yeah, that's what happened. So anyhow, okay, so that's the first layer on this side. I'm going to dry that because obviously we can't flip it over until this side's dry. Okay, those are dry on that side. Ooh, doggy, those are hot. Wow, those are hot, a little hot, because I just dried them with the heat gun. Okay, so let's do this side. I just wish I had another something. Trying to figure out how to hold these guys still without burning my fingers. Again, we're just pouncing the paint on there. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be putting other layers of other colors on here. Okay. We might even go with some cinnamon at this point. Stick it in that paint. I don't know, probably like you're like, why is she using cinnamon? Well, back in the day, you know, when everybody was making everything primitives, making candles look all primitive, they'd roll them in glue or Mod Podge, and then put cinnamon on them. Anyways, I think it might add to the grungy, rusty look. So we're gonna just see. Just trying to move these a little bit. Okay, now I have to dry these. Okay, those are dry and hot. Now, I'm not gonna wash out my brush. I'm just going to get that bulk of that off. And then we're just gonna do some random brown splotches. Nothing real scientific here, just kind of blotching some on. It doesn't have to be full coverage or anything. Just trying to get some of that brown over the black. Okay, I dried that. We're gonna flip it over. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side with the brown. See, there's still some silver showing through there. That's why it takes several layers, just kind of going back and forth, just playing around. And I know, you know, there are many ways probably to make this fake rust look. Listen, I've tried putting them in the vinegar, water thing, and it's just never worked for me. I've tried and tried, and I would love to be able to rust things. So if somebody has a easy way to rust all these things that they have used and tried and found that works, leave me a comment below. Oop, I was almost going to move to that yellow before I dried this. Okay, now we can move on to the yellow. Starting to dry up here. Okay, we're just going to do that. We're not going to paint the whole thing yellow. We're just going to give it some splotches. Okay, so more yellow on the back side. Just trying to get that patina look. I'm sticking that's why I'm sticking my finger in my Mod Podge right over there. Okay, I forgot a color. I don't usually use this, but I know that with rusty patina, this color kind of shows through a little bit. So we're just gonna real lightly in a few spots there. Okay, now the other side. You all know that greenish color I'm talking about that you see on something that's been rusty. Okay, so they are all dry and they're really starting to feel rusty. It's built up this thick layer after layer. It's bumpy and grungy like it would be rusty. So now I think we're going to take some of the, this was the bottom of the Mod Podge, and it's getting really thick. Oh, I don't want that to be all. Let me get a different brush. Let me get a different brush for you, Mod Podge. We're going to go over these a little bit with some Mod Podge, and don't touch them because they are blessed and hot. So now I want to do some of the, I don't know how I want to do this, just kind of do some of the cinnamon. Just kind of get some on there where the Mod Podge is. Well, I guess that's enough. Okay, I'm back. I had a knock at my door, and so then I came back up here, and that was a blooper. I turned my heat gun on, and the cinnamon flew everywhere. So yeah, don't do that. So we're going to, yeah, some of that didn't dry yet, but that's okay. Now the final touch for me is I'm going to seal all this in with the Mod Podge matte. So I'm just going to start painting it on, and I don't care how thick it is because it will dry clear and it will leave all this yumminess underneath, and hopefully it'll keep it from you know, chipping off eventually. I mean, no guarantees, like no guarantees this won't eventually chip off, but you know what, pop your rings out and do it again, or go buy some from a rusty person, or a person that knows how to make rusty things. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. This is my way. It's not everybody's way, but yeah, it's messy, folks. It is messy. If you don't like messy, this might be the wrong channel for you. Just saying. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. Okay, so these are pretty much dry, and I'll just pick them up. This is what they look like. They're kind of grungy. I think they turned out pretty good. But you know what I was thinking? Since I put all the extra grunge on there, I hope they still fit through my holes. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see if I can get this through all the layers. Looks like it's gonna come through. It might be a tight It might be a tight fit. I may work on that, but for the most part, that's how it'll go. Oh, can't get it out now. Yeah, it's a little tight, and I want to let these guys cure a little bit. I don't want to rub any of that off, so that's what we're going to do for today. These guys will sit, and then maybe I'll work on some of the holes, maybe making those a little bit bigger. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.